So anyone who's heard the Third Wave by Groove Synthesis will know it's an absolute beast of a synth. Huge sounding, very expensive, 24-note polyphony, 4 synth engines. It's a modern replica of the PPG Wave and a whole lot more besides. Well, the good news is now they've done a stripped down version, which is a hell of a lot cheaper, takes up a lot less real estate, has this beautiful big screen, which is really easy to navigate, and most importantly, exactly the same sound as the big one. The difference is it's only got 8-note polyphony and 2 synth engines instead of 4. For me, that's fine. The only thing you're really missing out on is the polyphony. So let's check it out. By the way, a lot of people have asked me about my own presets. Can they get them? So I'm selling them now. They can go in both synths, and the link is below if you want to check them out. All right, let's take this little puppy for its paces. So you've got 3 oscillators which are identical. Let's start off with the PPG waves because that's the reason this thing exists. They're very lo-fi because they were recorded at a high sample rate apparently, but they're only 8-bit. So you get this weird ghostly artifact. It's like spectral noise basically, and it gives it a real character. So if I scan through a wave, this is just one oscillator. You can let it be as the original, or you can add smoothing, and that way it goes through the wave a bit smoother. Just putting 2 of them together and detuning them a bit with a bit of pan spread, and you're in kind of digital heaven. If you listen to the new Justice album, actually, they used the PPG Wave, the original one, I think on all tracks, and you can really hear it on the album. It's got so much character, it's great. But it's not just a PPG copyist. After that, you've got their own waves, which are much more big and hi-fi sounding. And you can think of these wavetables as something to scan through to get that movement. That's the magic thing about wavetables. You don't necessarily have to have filters and other stuff to create movement, but you can also have them just in a static point of view. And if you look at it like that, there's just so many different tones on offer. You know, you can just pick your tone and then start to shape it from there, rather than an analog synth where you're just stuck with 4 or 5 waveforms. You can also make your own wavetables, which is really simple to do. So after the waves, you've got a virtual analog engine with the usual suspects: sawtooth, square, triangle, sine, supersaw, and various types of noise. You can also create FM from other oscillators. Just a hint of that will give you a nice bit of noise. Finally, you've got also a sample engine. It's got a very small amount of memory, but it's really good fun. It comes with some, and it's very easy to put your own in as well. Here's like just a 2-note sample from a Jupiter 8, just 2 notes across the keyboard. You can have a maximum of 8, and you can loop them and crossfade them. It brings me back to the kind of Akai S950 days, you know. I also made this other one where I just recorded a bit of a nature sound. Let me find it. That's just a one-note sample of nature. But then when I mix that in with some waves, pretty awesome. Got two filters. The first is an analogue low-pass filter. Apparently it's the same one as in the Prophet 5, I believe, and it does sound really big and fat. What's very cool about this filter is it's got this resonance compensation. So when I crank the resonance up on the filter, normally the sound's going to get thinner, but because of this, it doesn't, and it sounds pretty massive. I think they pioneered this, and quite a few synth companies I've noticed are now adopting it, but I have to say their one is the best sounding version. Also, you can saturate the filter, which does sound really nice as well. It's juicy. It's very fat and juicy. I love it. After that, you've got the state variable filter, which is digital, and it's really useful. Firstly, if you want to lop off a bit of low end, but also it's got a bandpass filter in here, which is great. We've got tons of envelopes. We've got 4 envelopes in terms of amp, filter, 2 extra spare ones, which you can allocate to whatever you like. Plus you've got the wave envelopes here, which as well as scanning through the waves, you can use for anything. I quite like assigning them to something like pitch, for instance, and you can sort of set it so that pitch suddenly moves and then doesn't, you know, and it's a bit random. Here's another patch where I'm using one of the extra envelopes, envelope 4, to bring in slowly all these modulations, 2 effects and oscillator free level. So the modulation possibilities are almost endless. There's so much you can do with this, you'll never get bored. And I really love the way it's laid out with this mod matrix. It's so easy to see what you're doing and implement stuff. It's really top class. The ergonomics of this whole thing is so well set out. Even though it's a module, it's really easy to find your way around. You probably don't need a manual or just a few cursory looks at it. It's so logical. You've got a built-in sequencer, and you can actually tie the patterns together to make a song if you want. Here's a basic one I made. It's quite tight sounding. You've also got a cool arpeggiator, and you've got 2 independent ones for each synth, so you can have polyrhythms going on. Finally, you've got some great effects, 2 effects for each synth, and they're really high quality. This is just a single plain oscillator. Let's put a BBD delay on. The cool thing is I can modulate that movement of the delay, so you can get that kind of modulation using an LFO and envelope. Stereo delay. Chorus. Really nice chorus. Phaser. Flanger. Distortion. Leslie is good. Ring modulator. And then on the second effect bank, you've got some reverbs. So there you have it, a lot of bang for your buck, I think, compared to this big behemoth here, which I love, but it's very expensive. This is still pricey, but it's much more affordable to more people. Very easy to use, super high quality sounds. If you just want a vanilla kind of analog synth, don't get this. But if you're a bit more adventurous and you want lots of choices of sound and be able to blend lots of different elements, and at the same time it being easy to do and easy to program, this is your puppy.